Yo, YouTube, Prof Sales coming at you with a video. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know, because today I want to talk to you guys about jeans. It's hard to believe, but I have not sold jeans on eBay in probably close to a year. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. And we're going to do a little bit of a screen share with eBay and just kind of see what the jeans market looks like on eBay. I haven't looked at it in a long time, so I'm kind of curious. There's a chat, there's a live show going on during this video, so let me know in the chat if you sell jeans and how it's been going for you. If you don't sell jeans any longer, if you're thinking about selling jeans, whatever your situation is. So I will answer any questions that I can about jeans from way back in the day. But hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Let me know if you can. We'll jump in here in a second. But as many of you know, I was primarily a jeans seller on eBay up until about a year and a half ago. And I was on a mission to build a big, huge jeans inventory. Kaaren and I did a lot of videos about jeans and selling jeans, listing jeans, measure jeans. You can see all those on my channel, and there's still some what I think are pretty good tips there for listing and measurements and all those good things. I don't think any of that's changed, but if it has, I don't think it's changed much. But we have not been selling jeans for a long time. So I really don't know what the jeans market is like. I realize, you know, I was looking through some old comments today on those videos, and people were asking some questions, and I thought, man, I'm not even sure I know the answer to that anymore. So I thought what we'd do is we would go into eBay, we would look at the jeans market. I'm going to go through with you guys what I used to do, it's kind of how I landed on jeans, but how I would assess, you know, the market, and how I would assess really any market, and just kind of see see how it compares to how it was several years ago. And just kind of, you know, see if it makes sense to sell jeans today in 2019. It's actually almost 2020. So we're at the end of this year. And I know there's a lot of you out there who probably say, or have heard on video that is, oh, well, the market's gotten saturated and this is never going to work anymore, and it's too many sellers, the prices are too low, the competition's too stiff. Like, that's a pretty common complaint we see in the reseller community. And, you know, there can be some truth to that in certain cases and so on, for sure. But I never thought the market was too big in jeans. As a matter of fact, they're too competitive. I never thought I could get a big enough chunk of it to make it worth it for me, kind of what I wanted to do. Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe I was right. Doesn't really matter. It's water on the bridge now. But we're going to dive into jeans today and see kind of like what they look like. Aaron, that comment's funny. Jeans Guide 2.0, one page. That was too funny. I had to share that. No, I never thought that jeans were a bad thing to sell. I never soured on them. I just got to a point where I thought our goals and what we wanted to do with them no longer fit with our model, and eBay was not really the place we wanted to be selling. So that's why we moved away from them. But I have no idea what they're like now. Emerald City Seller says jeans are still selling for me. Okay, cool. So you'll be a good resource during the show, hopefully, to talk about that. High Desert Barb says they still sell for me as well. Game Changer says I just sold a pair yesterday. Too Crazy 98 says been selling jeans almost exclusively. And so we'll see kind of like what that looks like. And you guys, please chime in. And if I say something that's wrong, which there's a pretty high chance of that now, especially since I haven't been in this niche for like a year and a half, feel free to correct me. Feel free to enlighten everyone. and I will share your comment. So I'm going to share with you guys my eBay page here, and I'm going to go over. I'm going to see what that looks like. This is how I used to sell jeans in the past. Let me pull up my. Oops. Let me pull up the chat just so I don't miss any really super pertinent comments. And I can't promise I'll post every comment on the screen, but if somebody has something that's, very germane to what we're talking about, then I will do my best to get it on. Let's see. Let me turn down the volume. Okay, so this is how I used to look up jeans before. I would literally go in and type men's jeans, right? And you see there's a lot of different options. So I'm going to look under men's clothing and just see what's out there. And again, I have not done this in a long time, so I have no idea what I'm going to find. All right, so the first thing we see is we see that right here, there's 1.4 million men's jeans for sale, which is a decent sized market. I feel like it was smaller than that back when I was selling, maybe a little bit, but I don't remember. I want to say it was 1.2 million. Maybe somebody can correct me on that if it's gotten bigger or smaller. But then we go over here to condition. And I always looked at the pre-owned because I was selling mainly pre-owned. So there's 403,000 of those. Probably a little hard for you guys to see. So we're going to select that. And that's going to show us all the results. And then I'm going to keep going down here. I'm not going to get into brands quite yet. I'm going to do a couple other things. I'm going to do, we need to look at, oh, we want, oops, I didn't mean to click that. We want sold items and completed items. So there's 250,000 sold listings, and I'm assuming this is every 90 days, guys. If you can let me know on that. This is over the last 90 days. I don't know that for a fact, but looks like they have some nice segments up here. Under 15, 15 to 35, over 35. I would love 15 to 35. That was probably where a lot of my bread and butter was. But this is, let's see, is this just sold or is this sold and completed? I thought I did both. Let's make sure. Pre-owned, sold listings. Oh, it doesn't have completed. Well, that's whatever. It says completed. Well, it's not showing me the ones that completed and did not sell. So that's kind of, I don't know if I'm doing something wrong with the filter. But let's look, and I will go in and you could do this by like the price here, these tiers. I'll do this 15 to 35 just for fun. I know people sell jeans for less than that. So, kind of looking down through this list, and this list is not in any order other than just, it's 15 to 35. It's probably showing the most recent ones. This was sold October 21st. We say Just Cavalli, BKE, Lands End, Levi's, Nomex Pants, Hugo Boss, Rockaware, More Levi, Red Tab, Hudson, Rag & Bone, True Religion, Levi, Prana Tucson. I don't really remember that one too well. More Levi. Levi is the most popular jean in the world, so it's not surprising that you're going to see those. But what I really need to look at here, let's click off this sold. And we have 200. Why is it not showing me just completed? It's really weird. Does anybody know the answer to that? I want to see just completed, not sold. Let's see if he'll do it now. Here we go. All right, this is what we're looking for. Okay, so you can see here, this is showing the ones that were completed, they ended, and then the ones that sold. The ones that sold are in green, and the ones that did not sell are still in black, a black font. So let me scroll down here and see how many we have on this page. I'm not sure what my filter set for. 192. Okay, so this is what I used to do. I'm going to change this to 96. And this is a quick and easy guide, guys, to see how well something's selling to eBay. It's not perfect, but it's a start. So basically, I've got 100 items on this page. So I'm going to go through and count how many have sold, and that's going to give me a sell-through rate. Now, I know brands have their own sell-through rates, but for the moment, we just want to see the state of the denim market as of men's denim as of late. So here's 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not, I don't know if it's really a jean though. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. So it looks like 39 of the 96 jeans have sold. So that's going to work out to a roughly 40% sell-through in men's jeans. Now, I know some of you are going to say, well, that's way too small of a sample to really mean much. And you're right. But I'm not going to sit here and count through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. But if I were, I want to say that's a decent sell-through. 40% basically of men's denim in the $15 to $35 range have sold of the ones that have ended in the last, whatever this is, 60 days, whatever it is. Now, there's no way to really know the true sell-through of denim in any, without like all the data. And we don't have that unless you look at like Terapeak or something like that. And those have their own limitations. But the point is that if you were going to sell men's denim today in this $15 to $35 range, you could maybe expect to sell 4 out of 10 pair every, I think this is 90 days, 60 days, 30. I don't know. Somebody help me with that. And you would be probably close. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at with the denim, men's denim. I feel like that's comparable to what it was back in the day. So I would, if I were making a drawing a conclusion from this, I would say that men's denim, on average, is selling just about as often as it was back a year and a half ago, to when I was more in tune with this market. Now we did not include the ones that were lower than $15 and more than $35. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that the ones that are more than 35 probably have a lower sell-through rate, and the ones that are below 15 probably have at least as great, if not greater. On, the flip side of those arguments, you make more money with the ones that are higher priced. And the ones that are lower priced, you probably make less money, but maybe sell through a little faster. Your mileage may vary. So let's clear that. Now I'm going to go look at women's jeans. My computer is struggling. It's like, what are you doing to me? And we're going to do the same filter, basically. I'm going to look at, so 2.3 million results for women's. Women's is a bigger market by, what was that, 900,000 more, roughly. So women's is definitely bigger. That has its pros and cons, just like anything else, right? There's more competition, but there's also probably more of a market for it. I would argue there's more of a market for it. Women go through jeans more often than men, all things being equal. I think the stats show us that. I've talked about that before. Let's go to 15 to 35. We'll do the same filter. Now it cuts it down to 1.1 million. So that's about half, a little less than half, actually. So half of the women's jeans are under 15 and half are above it, above 35. Which is interesting to know. Now let's go down to the same thing. We'll do pre-owned is 599,000. And it should be the same filter. Okay. So the women's pre-owned market right now is 599,000. And we're going to go do just completed. That's all we want. If we can get this to work. So 208,000 have sold in the last 90 days or whatever. So let's see kind of what I think. I'm gonna look this really quick and see if I'm still on 96 is my filter. Sorry guys, I know it probably is flying through and you're like, whoa, slow down. There's really nothing to see here. Okay, so we'll count up. So 96 again. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So roughly around probably about 18%, or actually a little less, probably 17-18% of the women's jeans sold. So they're selling not even half of what the men's are that are sell through. You know, I mean, there's no easy way to say this, right? The women's jeans sell half as often and the market is bigger. Therefore, the amount of listeners, therefore, in this range, you are probably going to see less. You're going to see less sell through. It's going to be harder to get your inventory to move. There's probably more competition per pair or brand or fit. So I don't know that women's, if you were comparing the two, and I want to say that's around the same percentage it was back a year and a half ago. I could be wrong, but I don't know that women's is. I don't know that women's is. I mean, every man's pair is worth 2 pair of women's, basically, in terms of sell through. If you look at those numbers now, again, those numbers might change as you go on down through hundreds and hundreds of listings or thousands of listings. They might change. But quite honestly, if I were picking today to sell men's or women's jeans and I had to pick one, men's seems like the more logical choice. It's a better sell through and there's less competition for them per the amount of listings that are out there. However, you may have access to really cheap women's jeans. Now, we did not look. We were only looking at roughly 45% of the women's market and about half of the men's market. So who knows? Like if you look at those under $15 jeans for women's, maybe they fly off the shelf. I mean, I guess we could look at it. Well, I guess we can look and see. Farmer Mark says the returns are higher on women's jeans. For sure. You are going to deal with returns, a lot of returns, period. If you sell jeans, well, I won't say a lot, but you're going to deal with probably close to 5% returns. And that's just part of the business. And that's just, you know, people don't always know their size or things don't always fit the way they are quite say they're going to. I mean, there's no way to get around that. You're going to get returns, but women's do get a higher percentage of returns than men's. Let's see what else everybody else is saying. Maybe I'll look at the under $15 pair here in a minute. Lady Liberty Stacker says, I sell both, but the sales have really slowed down and prices have even softened on brands like Miss Me. Seems the thrift stores have figured out these things. I would rather sell men's clothes in general over women's because of the sell-through and the profit margins. Okay, so Lady Liberty is confirming what we just saw, that the sell-through is better on men's, and there's less competition, which those two things kind of go hand in hand overall. Well, not exactly. The market could be less too, I guess, for men's. But on my initial view on the $15 to $35 pairs of jeans, I'm going to say from looking at those numbers that the sales of those that denim is roughly the same as it was a year and a half, 2 years ago. Roughly. It's not a huge difference. There is some more competition, but the percentage of sell-through is about the same. So I suppose that's a little harder. You might want to source a little bit differently, and what you buy. It's like anything else. Like, you make the money in this game when you buy, not when you sell. But let's go back. Let's look at women's that. Let's look at women's that are more than $15 to $35. Let's see if I can change that filter. How do I change that? Whoops. I mean to go into that person's listing and their tremendous table flat lay. Ooh, that's weird. It's a different. Oh, it only has an over 15 for the pre-owned, I suppose. Okay, well, let's do this then. We will do, let's see, $35 to $1,000. Oops, I think I put 10,000. And that way we should be able to see what that is. Okay, so there's not nearly as many of these, right? There's only 39,000 women's jeans that have sold that are pre-owned, just to make sure we got our filters right. Yep. In the last 90 days, 39,000 pair have ended. And let's see what the sell-through is on this. It was 18%, roughly 17% on the 15 to 35. If the 35 plus, maybe it's better, maybe it's worse. We'll see. All right, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Is that all jeans? That's not. So we'll say 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so interestingly enough, the higher price women's denim is $15.96, where the $15 to $35 ones were 17%, virtually the same percentage. And I would argue for the additional profit, if you were going to sell women's, you maybe should go with the $35 and up. Now you can maybe make that a little lower. I mean, these ranges are sort of arbitrary and just what eBay decided they should be. Maybe even 30 is worth it, or 25. But it's about the same sell-through, which is interesting to me. I thought it would be lower. It is a little lower, but not much lower. Let's see if we can do. Let me just go ahead and put it over here, because I think it's actually easier to do it over here. We'll do 0.01 cent to $14.99. So we had 17% sell-through on women's, $15 to $35, 15% on the 35 plus. Now what is on the 0 to 15? Are these completed? Yeah, 421,000 results. So this is a big category, a big part of the women's denim, the biggest so far. All right, no solds, no solds, no solds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow, the same as the $35 pair. That is super interesting to me. So the cheap women's jeans, and some of these sold for very little money, like $1.20. So the very cheap women's jeans, this is super interesting to me because I have not looked at this stuff in so long. The super cheap women's jeans sell through at basically the same rate as the $35 plus ones. Now, I don't know how many you're going to find of each one, but isn't that interesting that you would get just as much sell through with the higher volume ones, and you wouldn't need much sell through rate to get a good profit on those, because the profit's going to be so much higher on a $35 pair of pre-owned jeans than it is on a $2.50 pair. So there's like your return, your sell through rates, and some ideas for sourcing of jeans. I mean, obviously they're still selling probably around this, at least in the women's. We can look at the men's too. There's a couple other comments. And thank you guys for the comments and coming out today. And, you know, I really appreciate it. I haven't done a jeans video in so long, but if you like it, click that like button and hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed before. And I usually do 1 or 2 videos a week, so it's not going to bomb your email inbox with tons of requests for, you know, hey, Prof put out a new video. All right, so Barb said, Jason, did you do free shipping on jeans? I went back and forth on it, Barb. By the end, I was not. I think I was charging like a nominal amount. Well, I think I was charging around $6, maybe, or maybe it was $6.99, which was basically covering my cost of the shipping, because I was shipping padded flat rates, which you can ship 99.9% of all jeans in one of those. Let's see. Lady Liberty Stacker says, what about buy it now? I think buy it now is the best way to go on jeans. I always thought it was. I thought auctions, unless it was something unique and rare or highly desirable collectible, I didn't see the point in it. But, you know, maybe that's changed for eBay now. Maybe auction items get a better placement. I don't know. You guys would know that better than me. I have not sold on the platform very much in the last year and a half. So let's see. Prof sales. How are your book sales? They've been not great. We actually went through and purged a bunch of our older books from the other day, and we haven't sourced a ton of books lately. We've been focusing more on some of the RA items, especially for fourth quarter. Books are kind of a year-round seller if you're doing basic sort of run-of-the-mill thrift books. Obviously, textbooks have seasons, but you know, we've got rid of like quite a few books in the last 2 or 3 weeks, just through the free purges that Amazon is doing for that, which I highly recommend you take advantage of if you need to get rid of some old inventory. All right, let's look real quick here at men's jeans. And we will look at, oh, let me share my screen. You guys can't see it, can you? I guess that would help. Let's go to, oh, it's got the 1 penny to $14.99 filter still in there. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's see if men sold through. Now, there's 1,188 results for this, so not as many results as there were for the women. But let me make sure we're still pre-owned. I think we are. Oh, I better check that. No, I'm not sure. All right. So pre-owned completed listings, 906 results. All right. Any solds here? And this is the cheap jeans. Oh, that's a jean jacket. We won't count that. 1, 2, 3 on this row. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That pair sold for 99 cents. Oh, J brand. Wow. That's a good pair of jeans too. 12 so far. 13, 14, Gotta love the door hang. So 14, that's about the same as the women's. And then if we change our filter for the amount, we'll say to 35.01 to $1,000 and see what comes up. 209 results. 1, 2, 3. That's a jacket. We won't count that. 2, 3. Those are overalls. That's also a jacket. 4, not jeans. 5, 6, 7, 8. That is a lot. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's a jacket. 15, 16. Oh, that's women's, it says. That's interesting. 17, 18, 19, 20. That's a jacket. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Wow. 27, 28, 29. That's trousers. 29. So many mismanaged here. 30, 31, 32, 33. Miss me men's. Oh, yeah. Oh, interesting. 34, 35. Wow, that's a cool compare. 36, 37, 38, 39. Good gracious. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Yeah, so there's more, like 45 men's have sold. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that. So if you guys didn't see that, about 45 pair of the men's denim priced above $35 have sold in the last 90 days. That's great. I mean, that's a great sell through, you know, nearly, it's not 50%, but it's probably like 45%. That's as good as the $15 to $35 one. So you could make the case that we already made the case that men's has a better sell through. It has less competition. It has less returns. Now it looks like it's even better in terms of profitability because the higher ones sell through at like over twice the rate of the same subset of women's. So if you wanted to sell men's or you want to sell denim today on eBay, like if you were thinking about getting into it, my recommendation from what I just saw, you know, and you'd have to delve, you need to drill down into the brands, you know, to learn a little better. But just in a quick rule of thumb, look for men's jeans that will sell for, you know, $30, $35, $40 and up. And you should do really well, potentially. Because here's the thing you got to remember, guys. And this is true with a lot of commodity type items like jeans or books. The price you pay for those jeans is largely going to be the same for the $35 and $40 pair as that sell for that as the ones that sell for $15. So your cost of goods is the same. Your sell-through rate is actually better than it is for the lower ones. Granted, you might turn some volume down there at the bottom, but you got to turn a lot to make up for the amount. And the sell-throughs don't really support it. It looks like the sell-through is better for the higher priced ones. So if you're going to get just, you know, if you said, I'm just going to go out and look for jeans to add to my eBay store, my eBay listings, you probably couldn't go too wrong with looking for men's jeans pre-owned that will sell, that have solds for $30 and up. Any men's jeans you see like that, on average, are going to sell better than comparable women's, lower price men's, lower price women's, what have you. Now you gotta drill down into the brands and look at sizes and fits and color. Those things all matter too. But you can simplify your jean sourcing, and this is what I did love about that particular business. You can simplify things like jean sourcing by starting with, I'm going to start with men's. And what I did was I did men's and women's, but I did primarily men's to start. I went and looked at like the top, I want to say it was 10 brands by the number of completed listings on eBay. because I figured, well, that's where there probably is a market. And then I started looking within those brands for specific fits and washes and sizes. And that's how I started building up inventory. Because eBay doesn't have, a keep a graph like Amazon. So the only thing you have to really go by that's very, very current and very, very accurate is current listings, sold listings, completed listings. But it's very important you don't look at just sold listings for a niche of product you want to sell. Because if you look at just solds, right, and you say, I'm going to look at the solds for this doomahickey, and you're just like, wow, they sell for $50 a piece. I can get them for $5. This is great. But they only sell once every 6 months. That doesn't help you. Or it's a specific one that you don't have or don't have access to. I mean, you have to look at solds and completeds together. I recommend you just look at completeds, because completeds is going to show you, as you just saw, solds and completeds on the same. So you can go in there and you can figure out a quick, rough calculation of the sell-through. And you could drill that down even further. You could look at, like, let's say you wanted to see, all right, Prof, you said men's denim are good. What about men's silver jeans? You could go and I've talked about this before. You could go in here and you could say men's silver jeans, right? So we'll just add a word, $35 to $1,000 completed listings. And now we're going to see, I don't know why it looks like it's still trying to look in women's for some reason. It's weird. Now we're going to see which ones have sold there. So like there's one there, two, that's Levi's, two, yeah, don't count that. Those are Robins. I don't know why there's D squared 2, 3, 4, that's Silver Tab. Sometimes you need to go over here and look at the brand. I don't know if that brand's here. Yeah, let's do this. Let's see if that'll narrow it down a little more. Men's silver jeans. All right, so there's 406 that have sold in the last 90 days. There's 1, 2, that's new with tags. 3, gosh, so many filters eBay makes you have. Let's try this one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, quite a few. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 34, 38. Wow. 41, 44, 48, 50, 53, 58 or 57, 60, 62, 63, 65, 68, 70, 74. Wow. So 74 of the 96, 74 of the 96 silver jeans we just looked at have sold in the last 90 days. That's a crazy sell-through rate. Silver jeans is a good brand of jeans, but I didn't think it would be that high. So apologies if you're one of those people who sell silver jeans and now I just tanked the market by talking about it on YouTube. Sorry. It's not like a secret, but yeah, the sell-through on silver jeans appears to be really, really good. I'd look a little further down because I feel like that 74 number is probably a little inflated when we really start drilling down those. But you can do that with a brand and just say, I want to look at, these are the biggest brands. These are the ones I see all the time. Are they worth it? Like when you go out and you look at some brands, they may be a ton of them are selling on eBay, but they're not really selling a lot. So when you go out to find them in a thrift store, you could probably find them and get them for the same price you get all your other jeans for. But is it really worth it to bring it back home and sell them? Probably not, because they just don't sell for a lot. People make that mistake all the time. They're like, oh, I saw these solds for this brand. I'm like, yeah, but what did they sell for? Well, they sold for $3 plus $5 shipping. And I'm like, how are you going to make any money on those? You're not, is the answer. You're not going to make any money on $3 plus $5 shipping. Very, very little. Even if you get them for free, you're going to make very, very little. So it's really not worth it. So take like that. You can take like that strategy. And I did a video on this way back when, probably at least 2 years ago. Very similar to what I just did. You can take that same way of going through anything on eBay. It's just like you're doing product research to see if stuff will sell, how much will sell for. But all things being equal, I would say that selling jeans on eBay is alive and well. I mean, and I truly, guys, I had no idea. I had not looked at a single search result. I had not even looked up jeans on eBay probably in months. So I had no idea what I would find when I did that. I was as surprised as you guys, but if you want to sell jeans there, I think that's a good thing still to sell. You obviously can get them for very cheap most places. I know that thrift stores sometimes price them up. They put their love rack or love case out there and they say, hey, these are $20 for these Lucky brands. And you're going, what the heck is wrong? But seen that before and I'm going, wow, okay. But don't rely on, somebody mentioned it earlier about Miss Me had not been as profitable. Don't rely on what was profitable a year or two ago. Like, look what's current. Don't say to yourself, well, Miss Me were great 5 years ago, and I'm sure they're still great. They might not be, and you're not smarter than the market. So if the market's telling you Miss Me is not as valuable as it used to be, don't go source it. If you do, you're not going to get the profit you thought, and therefore you're going to be very disappointed. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, guys. If you have any questions or any other comments about that, please feel free to leave them in the chat. I will highlight them. So you can see your icon and name up in lights. Is that really a thing? I don't think it is. But let's see. I might have missed a comment here too. Lady Liberty said she's had better luck with men's shoes. Let's see. I had better luck with men's shoes as well. Bigger profits, although I did get a return on men's pair due to fit. Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, like, you can't try on a pair of shoes through the mail, right? Or a pair of jeans. So if somebody gets them and they don't fit, they're gonna send them back. They're not all scamming you. They're not all playing some sort of game. Sometimes they just don't work for them. They just don't fit, and they're like, well, excuse me, you guys are regularly sleepy. They just, they can't use them, and there's nothing wrong with that. You do the same thing when you go to a retail store. Sometimes you go and you buy something, you bring it home, and you thought, oh, this doesn't work the way I thought it did or fit the way it does. It's not, it's not anybody's fault. It's just part of the game. If you don't want to deal with returns, you absolutely should not be a clothing seller. Even you're going to get returns, period. I don't care what you sell. But even new clothes, you're going to get returns because people, just don't work for them. It's no more complicated than that. So even though it's brand new and you get mad and say, why don't they know their size? And why can't they figure it out? Blah, blah, blah. I get all that. But the reality is, people say to themselves, I'm a 34, 32, and they order it and it just doesn't work for them. What are they supposed to do? Wear it anyway? They can't. It doesn't fit. They could donate it, but then they're out the money. Like, there's a reason you offer returns, and so that people can return things. So, just you don't have to get stressed about it. You don't have to get too crazy over it. I think that's one of those things is clothing sellers, when I was one or more of one, I guess I still am one actually, we got all up in arms about it. Like, we act like because we sell things online and we're not this big company like a clothing retailer, that people should not be able to return things to us or expect great customer service from us. Or not true. I mean, that is just not the way it is, right? People do expect those things and they're going to want them. So if you don't want to deal with returns and you don't want to deal with customer service, you should not be a reseller because you are absolutely going to get those things. I promise you. And for the most part, you could probably just let them go, and just be like, no big deal. No big whoop. Gotta move forward on it. Let's see. Bright Line said something here. When I order shoes on eBay for myself and they don't fit, I resell it myself instead of return to the seller. I wish everyone did this. Yeah, I mean, that'd be great if they did, Bright Line. Obviously, not everybody's going to take the time to learn how to sell online and, store an item and pack it up and ship it to somebody once they buy it from them. You're right in the sense it would be great if they did that, but that is just not the way most people look at it. They look at it as, I paid $40 for this and it doesn't work for me. I want my $40 back. And I guess that would be the same way. Krillin says, also, they don't read measurements. That's true. They don't read measurements. And even if they did, I'm not sure it would always matter because I'm not sure they know their own measurements in some cases. But yeah, you're right. They don't. And it is annoying. So, and Candle Hoarder says you just got to move on. I agree. That's all you can do. So I appreciate it, guys. Jeans are still selling. They're alive and well on eBay. You could still make, a good profit on each one and probably even build a decent sized business on them. And I hope that this video was helpful for you to figure out how to do that and see that the market's still there. You got a good research tip, or at least one I used to like. Before we head out, click that like button and subscribe if you don't mind. And I'm going to see you guys real soon again. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and some great sales are going for you, hopefully, if you are a seller. Maybe you probably are if you're watching this show. But I will catch up with you guys soon. Take care. This is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.